Okay, hello everyone, welcome back to another Math Your Day channel. So in today's video we'll be looking at completing the square, right? So this chapter here, or rather this topic, is very important, especially when dealing with quadratic function, because you might be given ax squared plus bx plus c, and then they said change that form into x plus p squared plus q, right? Then you have to be able to complete a square, but not always. You're not always you will have to complete a square, because you can also find using this equation here, or rather using this format here. You can find the turning point and then just substitute here, because you notice that my P and my Q are my turning points. Then my A, of course, it will be given in that case, right? My A here is common, here my A is common, right? So basically we have to learn how to complete a square, so that things might happen rather. So now let us see first. Let us look at an example, right? Let's look at example 1. Let's say we have y is equal to 3x squared plus 12x plus 9, right? So the way of completing the square, okay, first of all, let us do the one to calculate the turning point first, right? So now let us first calculate my x turning point, which is negative b over 2a, right? Should give me negative 12 over 6, which is negative 2, right? That would be negative 2. Now let us find my y-intercept, my y value. So it will be 3 and then 4 here, because that's, if you put that negative 2 there, it would be 4, and then minus 12 times 2, that's 24 plus 9, right? So here I got 12 minus 12 plus 9, this is 24 this is 24, and then plus 9, right? So this will be negative 12, right? So it will be negative 12 plus 9, negative 12 plus 9, that's negative 3, right? That's negative 3. So in this case here, I notice that, okay, my P will be what? Will be 2, right? Remember that to find your x turning point, you let what inside that bracket, let x plus p equal to 0. So meaning that x in that case will be negative p. So if x was negative and they changed to be positive, meaning in that case here it was negative, and hence when I put it in that case it has to be positive, right? So you're basically changing. So if it was positive there, then my p would be negative. So meaning I am done, right? So I hope that you understand that, right? So meaning now that I'm done, I could say, well, my y in that case is given as, well, my a is given as 3, right, times x, then my p, I just said now it will be a positive 2 squared, and then my my q is negative 3, right? There you go, right? So that's the other way of doing it, but again we can also complete the square, right? You can also complete the square, right? Let us see when we complete the square whether we'll get the same answer there, right? Okay, so by completing the square, the first thing that you have to do is to make sure that the coefficient of x squared should be 1. So that's the first step, right? The coefficient of x squared, it should be 1. So then I can take out 3 as a common factor. If I have x squared, and then there will be 4, and then this will be 3 right there. Just hoping that you understand what I did there. I took out the 3 so that here I can have a 1 as a coefficient of x squared. Remember, my x squared, it should be a 1, not a negative 1, positive 1 all the time, right? Okay, so now the next step is to divide the my next step is to divide the well, this should be x. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Here it should be 4x. So the next step is to divide the coefficient of x by 2 and then square that number, right? So meaning I'll have to say, well, this will be 4 over 2 squared, right? Okay, now that I've done that, the next step is to add and subtract that number there, right? I need to add and subtract the number, so meaning I'll have 3 and I'll have x squared plus 4x plus, I put that there, so it's 4 over 2 squared plus 3 minus 4 over 2 squared. You can see what I did there. I added this value here and subtracted, so meaning if I add the like terms, these two will move here and I'll still get that equation. It's still the same thing, right? Okay, so the next step now is to take this part here, and put it in one bracket, right? You can put that in one bracket, so I'm going to say, well, 3 times x squared plus 4x plus what? Well, 4 divided by 2, that's 2 squared, and then I'm going to put that in bracket, right? And then outside I have 3 minus 4, right? Because this is 4 divided by 2, which is 2, then 2 squared, that's 4. So 3 minus 4, that's negative 1, right? So now what you can do is you're always going to eliminate that one. You're going to eliminate that one there, and then you basically take the 2 outside, right? Basically take the 2 outside, and then here you have negative okay, what did I do there? Okay, so that's negative 1, right? Yes, that's right. And then you put the 3 inside, then you put the 3 inside, so meaning I'll have 3 times x plus 2 squared minus 3 times negative 1, that will give me negative 3. So I hope that makes sense there. This one here shouldn't be in this. I shouldn't add it. I was not supposed to add these brackets here. Okay, so just hoping that makes sense. Okay, and let's look at another example real quick. Let's look at another example. So let's say I have y is equal to x squared plus 9x and then let's say plus 4. Will that work? Let me see. Okay, let us see. So the first thing again, make sure that, okay, let us complete the square first, right? Let's first start with completing the square. So the first thing is to make sure that my coefficient of x squared is 1. You can see that this one here is 1, so I don't have to change anything. So I'm going to jump to my second step of dividing the coefficient of x by 2. So now I have 9 over 2 in that case. And then my third step is to add and subtract that number that we just divided squared into that equation there. So that means you'll have x squared, I can put brackets there, so x squared plus 9x, then I'm going to add that number, which is 9 over 2 squared plus 4, then I'm going to subtract that number. Okay, so let's just hope that makes sense, right? You just divide the coefficient of x, and then you square you square that number, and then you add and subtract it into that equation, right? So meaning now what I do is I'm gonna put these in one bracket, right? So x squared plus 9x, and then plus 9 over 2, that's 9 over 2, well, this is squared there, okay, and then plus 9 squared, that's let's see, that's 81 over 4, right? So that's 81 over 4 minus basically this is 4 here, so I mean that's let me see, that's 8, that's 16, right? It's 16 over 4, yeah, 16 over 4, so meaning 4 and 4, I'll have, well, 16 minus 16 minus 81. What is 16 minus 81? Well, that will give us 71 minus 6, which is, if I take out, I'll have 6 and then 4 added, so meaning I'll have 5, negative 65 there. Okay, it makes sense. So after that, I'm gonna eliminate that and then basically say, well, so give me x squared plus 9 over 2, or rather not x squared, sorry about that, that would be x plus 9 over 2 squared, and then minus 65 over 4, right? That should be your answer there. Rather, in my y should be that. Then if I want to find my turning point, then I'll have negative what rather my x would be equal to negative b over 2a, which is equal to negative 9 over 2 times 1, because my a is 1, my b is 9, and so I'll have negative 9 over 2 as my x, right? So I'm going to take that value, I'm going to substitute back into my original function. Therefore I'll have 9 over 2 squared. Well, this is a negative, but I don't have to put the negative because you can't put the negative, it doesn't matter. So this one will give me 9 times negative 9 over 2 and then plus 4, right? So this one again, it's 81 over 4. Again, you can plug this in a calculator. This again, it's 81, rather negative 81. Okay, this is negative 81 over 2, and then this will be 4 right there, right? So let me just change this here to a let's say 4, so let's say it will be 8 over 2, right? And hence I'll have 81 over 4 minus, so this will be 2 over, so 81 minus 81 plus 8, that will give us a negative, and then if you take that, that will give me 73, right? And then what can I do? Okay, yeah, this one needs a calculator. I don't have my calculator here. Oh, I have my calculator. Okay, let me see what we have. Let's see what we have. So basically I have 81 divided by 4 minus 73 divided by 2, or rather minus a 2. That would give us negative 65 over 4. So therefore I notice that, okay, when my x is a negative, then in my when I put it in that form, it should be a positive. Therefore y, it should be x minus or rather plus 9 over 2 squared, then my y is basically 65 over 4, which is the same as what we got on the left hand side, right? Okay, let's look at another example here. So I want you guys to pause the video and try this on your own, right, and see whether you will get the same mark. rather the same answer that I get. So it's 3x squared plus 5x plus 4 is equal to 0. So try this on your own, pause the video, try it, and see whether you get the same answer. You can do this using both methods and see whether they are the same. You get the same value. Then in this case I'll only do completing the square because this video is all about completing the square. Right, so the first thing, again, I want my coefficient of x squared to be 1. So if I'll take out the negative 3. If I have x squared minus, in that case, 5 over 3x, and then minus 4 over 3, right, which should give me 0. Okay, so now I'm gonna work with what's in the bracket. So the negative 3, remember I said we're gonna divide 5, or rather the coefficient of x by 2, right, by 2, and hence I'll have 5 over 6 in that case. So I'll have negative 5 over 3 x, then you add negative, because here it's a negative, so in this case it'd be 5 over 6 squared minus 4 over 3 minus negative 5 over 6 squared. Right, so hoping that you're following. Now the reason why I put the negative here is because this here is a negative. Now if you take the sign, basically, right, you're taking the coefficient of x. So the coefficient of x includes this negative 2, right, and hence why you include this negative here, right, also there, right, okay. So make sure that you include that negative, because most of you will tell me that, okay, the negative will move because it's a square, it's raised to the power 2, right, which 2 is an even number. Yes, that's correct, but in this case we want to use that 2 when dealing, or rather if, like, for instance, here you can see that here I have a positive, right, so I will use that positive in that place, right. So if I have a negative, if it was a negative, if I'll take the negative and put the negative there. Something that you understand that one there. Okay, so here I have negative 3 times, remember that I'll take this off here, I can take that off, and so I'll have x minus 5 over 6, in that case squared, right, and then I just solve this part here. So I have negative 4 over 3, negative 4 over 3 minus 5 over, rather this is not 5, 25 over 36. Okay, so 35 over 36, so let's see that. So you have negative 4 over 3, and then minus 25 over 36, so we get negative 73 over 36. So that is my answer there in that question. That's my answer, but I'll have to take this here, this negative 3 inside there, so meaning I'll have to say, well, this would be negative 3 and then x minus 5 over 6 squared, then minus there, right. So I'm gonna say answer times negative 3, that will give me 73, right, 73, okay, let me just, they give me 73 over 12, right, 73 over 12, this should be a positive, and yeah, that's the answer there, I think. Yeah, that's the answer there, which is equal to 0, right, which is equal to 0. So in this case, if they ask you to solve for x, now in this case we are not solving for x, we're just completing the square. But if they ask you to solve for x, then you can just solve for x. You transpose that on this side and then divide by -3 both sides, then square root the right hand side, and so on, right? It's basic math, right? It's just basic math. Okay, just hope that you get this value here. Just hoping that you're getting this value here that I got. And yeah, let us look at the last one here. Let's say if, right, so if fx is equal to, let's say, ax squared plus bx plus c. So if fx is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c, prove, right? So prove that the x-intercept, right, the x-intercept of fx is given, let's see, so is given as x is equal to negative b plus negative the square root of b squared minus 4ac all divided by 2a, right? So I've never seen this question here on past papers, right? But it might come in, it might not, it might. So make sure that you are able to also complete the square using variables, right? So let us see. So I'll have here ax squared, right, plus bx plus c. Now x-intercept, to find your x-intercept, we let my fx equal to 0, so or rather let my y equal to 0, so meaning I have that equal to 0. Okay, so the first step is to let, or rather to make my x squared be a what? Be a, or rather the coefficient of x squared be 1, right? So I can divide everything by what? I can divide everything by an a, right? I can divide everything by an a. Hence these two will move here. I have x squared and then plus b over a, b over ax, and then plus c over a, which is equal to 0, right? Which is equal to 0. Okay, so now the next step, what you're gonna do is you're gonna divide the coefficient of x. So when you divide b over a, you should get b over 2a, right? You should get b over 2a, right? I just hope that you hoping that you know how to rationalize, because here you need to be able to rationalize to get that to b over 2a, right? So you're getting b over 2a, or you could just say, well, b over a divided by 2, the number of times the denominator with a half and the numerator with a half, hence the 2 and the 2 will move, and then 1 times b is b, and then 2 times a is 2a. This is all divided by 1, which is 1, which is 1 there at the bottom, right? Okay, so now that we have found that, right, we're gonna find this we're gonna square this number, then we're gonna add and subtract it here, right, in this expression. So I'm gonna have x squared plus b over ax plus b over what? Over 2a squared, right? And then plus c over a, and then minus, in that case, right, you have to subtract minus b over 2a squared, which is equal to what? Which is equal to 0. Okay, so now here, remember that here I have to put this bracket here, so meaning I can eliminate this here, and I'll have, in that case, x plus what? Plus b over what? Over 2a squared, and then plus I have to add these two here. So notice that b over 2a squared is basically equal to b squared over what? Over 4a squared, right? So if you get c over a minus b squared over what? Over 4a squared, right? Then you just add using algebra. Therefore you get 4 a squared c minus a b squared all divided by what? By 4a cubed. And then I'm gonna remove the a. Therefore here there's 2 remainder, right? Therefore you have 4ac minus b squared over what? Over 4a squared. Okay, so I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take this here and I'll put it there. There you go. There you go. Okay, so this is basically equal to 0, right? So I'm gonna transpose. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna transpose this here to the right hand side. Therefore I have x plus b over 2a squared, which is equal to, in that case, negative. It will be negative, right? Let's say negative b squared plus what? Plus 4ac all divided by 4a squared, right? Okay, so the right hand side the left hand side remain as is, right? And then here I'm going to distribute the negative inside. Therefore I have negative 1 times negative b squared, that will give me positive b squared, then negative 4ac all divided by 4a squared. Then I want to remove this the square there, so I have to square root on both sides, right? So in this case I'm square rooting the denominator and the numerator, the denominator and the numerator, right? So in this case I notice that the square root will move with the square, right? And hence I'll have x plus b over 2a, right, which is equal to, in that case, the top part. Remember, when I have x squared equal to a irrational number, let's say 7, or rather let's say a number that is not a perfect square, let's say 7, right? So how do I find x? Well, x in this case should be equal to positive negative the square root of 7, right? So make sure that you understand that it's positive negative the square root of 7. But if something if let's say a value in that case is a perfect square, so meaning x in that case we'll regard x as 2, right? Can also be positive negative 2, right? So make sure that you understand that there, right? So meaning here I'll also have what happened now? Okay, I'm sorry about that. There's some lags here happening. Okay, so make sure that you understand this thing here, what I did. Okay, so this will be positive negative, this will be positive negative, and hence I'll have x plus b over 2a, which is equal to, on top I'll have positive negative what? The square root of b squared minus 4ac all divided. Now the square root of 4, that's 2. The square root of a squared, that's a, right? Then I'm going to transpose that one on that side. Therefore I'll have x. If I transpose it on this side, it will be a negative b over what? Over 2a plus, this will be plus negative square root b squared minus 4ac, got the c there, okay, over 2a. Now we notice something here. So when basically you have the same denominator and we are adding and subtracting, you basically you leave the denominator as is, and then you add or subtract the numerator, right? Meaning this will be 3 over 2. So when 1 over 3 plus 1 over 3 plus 1 over 3 will be 2 over 3. Let us see. So 1 over 3 so 1 over 3 plus 1 over 3, that will give us 2 over 3, right? Similarly, with you can play around with it. Let's say I have 1 over, let's say let's say I have 7 over 3, right, plus, let's say what can I do, let's say 4 over 2, or rather not 2, let's say 9, right? Let's say 9 over 3, right? Rather 3 over 9, right? So how can I add these? So basically here I can times this by 3. I can times the top part and the bottom part by 3, so that I will get a 9 there. So I have 9 over 7 plus what? Plus 3 over 9, and hence the 9 are the same. If I add the top part, which I'll have 10 over 9. Let us see whether that's correct. So no, my bad. What is 3 times 7? That's 21, right? So meaning 21 plus 3, that will give me 24, right? Okay, let's see. So I have 7 over 3 plus 3 over 9, right? That will give me 8 over 3, right? 24 divided by 9, that is 8 over 3, the same, right? So that is how we do it. So in this case, you can see that here I have the same denominator, so I'm going to add the numerator, right? So in that case, the denominator will stay as is, right? And then you just add the top part, which in that case will be positive, negative, the square root of b squared minus 4ac, which is equal to x, right? Hope that you find value and you just understand what I just did there. So this is my final answer here. I've proved this quadratic equation there. So if there's something you didn't understand, of course, again, comment down below, share the video and like the video, guys, to help us grow this channel. I'll see you guys later. Cool, right?